Hey everybody, welcome to our final session this week in Grace with Paul Gray. We've been looking at this passage from 1 John 4:16 to 19, which says this. John writes, "And we have come to know and believe the love that God has in us. And the one who resides in love resides in God, and God resides in him. By this, love is perfected with us, so that we may have confidence in the day of judgment. Because just as Jesus is, so are we in this world." There's no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. The one who fears punishment has not been perfected in love. We love because he first loved us. Now, we focused on the ultimate absolute truth that God is perfect love. That's Papa's name. That's who he is. And he lives in us. We are the object of his perfect love. His love is perfect, and he loves us perfectly. And he loves everyone perfectly. Grace is God's unconditional love perpetually in action, working all things for the good, the restoration of all. Now, I want us to finish up this week by absolutely knowing that we can also love perfectly because he loved us first, and he is perfect love, and he lives in us, and he wants to love other people perfectly as us. Perfect love, God himself. I want you to think of a sort of like not a pros and cons, but a sheet that's divided down the middle. And perfect love, attributes of God, and these are just a very few of them, are listed on one side. And anytime you hear something that's contradictory to that, put it on the other side and just put a line through it. Perfect love, God himself, his love is totally unconditional, has no conditions. Perfect love has no requirements. Perfect love has no limits. Perfect love has no fear. Perfect love has no judgment. Perfect love has no punishment. Perfect love never ends. It never fails. He never fails. Perfect love includes all. Perfect love accepts all. Perfect love forgives all. Perfect love doesn't hold sins against people. Perfect love never withholds love. Perfect love has no time limits or restrictions or deadlines. Perfect love has no concept of separation, ever. All right. So for you and me, when we're tempted to withhold love and affection, to control somebody, using punishment so we can be in control and judge others as not being as good as us, that's not perfect love. That's an evil distortion of God's perfect love. That's why it hurts so much. When we have that kind of attitude, we are at odds with perfect love. We're causing disharmony in God's perfect love song. Jesus, Papa, and the Holy Spirit never, ever withhold love. We can never be separated from their love. They never use love to punish. Instead, what they do is they purify. Look at what Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 3:9-17. He said, "We are God's fellow workers. You are God's field. You are God's building. According to the grace of God," Paul says, "which was given to me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another builds on it. But let each one take heed as to how he builds on it. For no other foundation can anyone lay than that which is laid, which is Jesus Christ." And he's talking about the grace of Jesus Christ here. Now, if anyone builds on this foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, or wood, hay, and straw, each one's work will become clear. For the final day, will declare it, because it will be revealed by fire. And the fire will test each one's work, of what sort it is. If anyone's work which he has built on endures, he will receive a reward. If anyone's work is burned, he will suffer loss, but he himself will be saved, yet so as through fire. Do you not know that you are the temple of God and that the Spirit of God dwells in you? God won't let anything we do that's not of perfect love last. It won't endure. His purifying, white-hot, consuming love will consume those things. It's not an actual fire. But to the degree we resist God's purifying us and restoring us to our original state of His perfect love, it will mentally and emotionally and spiritually be painful, like a fire is painful. But it's not an actual fire. God doesn't use actual fire to burn us or torment us or punish us. We can take comfort in being assured, though, that perfect love endures forever, never fails, never ceases. He is perfect love. We've already been concluded, all of us, already been included in the triune circle dance of perfect love. Papa, perfect grace, Jesus, and perfect fellowship, the Holy Spirit. Excuse me. That's perfection to the max. And that's where we are. We are the temple of God and of perfect love. Perfection lives in you. Perfection has made you perfect. Perfection now will live and love as you, as we come to know perfection, God, better and better, and cease wanting to do things our way and let Him do things His way. Then it's a win-win-win situation for everybody. That's perfect. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.